Hey class, Alec here. Hey, today we're going to talk about building models in economics. This is what we do. This is a key important issue in this class, so this is an important lecture. Let's start off by looking at the scarcity definition of economics. Economics is the study of how to best allocate scarce resources among competing uses. I've highlighted several key terms. The one that I'm going to focus on in this lecture is the study. Just kind of giving you some background into why we do and the difficulties that are associated with the modeling that we do. A study in economics means that economics is a social science regarding consumption, production, and distribution. The three central questions are what, how, and for whom. Unlike a chemist who gets to do their experiments in a controlled environment, our laboratory is the real world. Notice what the real world is all about. It's complex, it's dynamic, change is the name of the game. So for an economist, we must abstract from the complexity of the real world so that we can get to two dimensions in our model. The way that we do this is by using this Latin term right here, Ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus means nothing else changes. Another way to say that, it means all else stays the same. I like to think of it in general functional form. Y is a function of x. Y is the dependent variable. X is the first independent variable. Y is a function of x, and I go dot 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 and other things too. These other things too, everything, all the variables to the right of that first variable is being held constant via ceteris paribus. So let's build a model. Let's build a model of your GPA in economics. You can see this on the upper right portion of the screen. I've posited here that the most important determinant of your GPA is your study time. And let's further suggest that's a positive relationship. The more you study, the higher your GPA. But there's other things that affect or determine your GPA. For example, previous learning, your mental capabilities, your study habits, the instructor in the textbook, your income, the weather. We can go on and on and on. I've just summarized it using etc. All of these things below study time are held constant via ceteris paribus. So let's build our model. We're going to have your GPA, of course, is your dependent variable. It's on the vertical axis. And study time is the most important independent variable, and we'll have that on the horizontal axis. Let's not concern ourselves about the functional form. Let's just draw a linear function with a positive slope and say this is our GPA at time period 1. That subscript 1 is referring to everything, all of your assumptions being held constant via ceteris paribus. Now you can clearly see here, if you study 4 hours, we can estimate what your likely GPA would be. It would be a 2.5. How do you get your GPA to go up? Well, of course, under our model, you study more. And you can see that your GPA, if you increase your study from 4 to 6 hours per week, your GPA would go from a 2.5 to 3.0. And that's showing you, again, the model is trying to explain how your GPA is affected by the amount of hours that you study each week. Ceteris paribus, all of these things held constant. Now, what if one of these things changed? Let's posit a change in your study habits. Now, you can see here that the ceteris paribus assumption has been violated. You have to draw a new curve. So if you improve your study habits, instead of studying on the couch, watching the Blazer game, petting your puppy, and eating dinner, you go upstairs and isolate yourself in a controlled environment in your room, and you're sitting at your desk, perfect lighting, no sound, your study habits have improved. Your GPA function will shift up like this. It will go to GPA 2. Now, what does this say? There's two outcomes that happen here. Is the first outcome, and let's highlight it in red, says that if you continue to study 4 hours under an improved study environment, you're going to go to this point here. Your GPA would go to a GPA of 3.1. That is outcome A. You could also then say, I'm satisfied with my 2.5 GPA. Under this scenario, you go to the left, and this says that I can get the same GPA by studying less if I improve my study habits. So this is what we do. We build models in economics, and we'll be building them a lot in this class. Talk to you later.